It's Wednesday, May 21st. Welcome back to another episode of Sleepers Podcast. I am Carter. I'm here with my guy Dion, who is back from Costa Rica. Is that it?
Yeah, Costa Rica.
Costa Rica went for a wedding, right?
Yeah, I went for a wedding. I was down there from Wednesday to Monday. Hottest country maybe in the world.
I mean, can I get a quick? I mean, I know we're not a geography podcast. Can I get a quick? How close is Costa Rica to the equator?
According to what everybody told me, extremely.
So the sun showed out.
The sun put on a show, and by the way, the sun doesn't even need to be seen for the show. The sun was putting on it. There was a thunderstorm and there was fog. It was 100 some odd degrees outside.
See, I can't. That's too hot for me. I feel like for you though, like you're in Cali. Like what's the hottest it gets there?
Like 110, but we don't do humidity.
Oh, see, humidity, that's a silent killer.
Yeah, humidity is the difference maker for me. Like if it's just hot, like it is what it is. But the humidity, you step outside and you're drenched. They had like we stayed at a resort. They had like first off, it all inclusive, but you got to purchase the wristband that makes it all inclusive. There's 7 restaurants in this place. I could eat in 2 the whole week.
That just doesn't seem like an all-inclusive joint.
Not all inclusive. And they served me bottom shelf the whole weekend because I had on the white wristband. It was I got the job done, but it was rough. And so like there's this shuttle service that takes you around, but I don't know if it was a wristband thing too. It never picked me up. It just drove right by me the whole week.
Crazy, you just got demoted to the worst wristband in the whole all-inclusive joint.
It's all inclusive, one of the biggest lies ever, minus the fact that I drank for free for 6 days. That was fine.
Did they have a pool swim bar?
Yeah. Oh, multiple.
I mean, those, I feel like those are the best part of those joints.
Yeah, I just walked right up. Walked right up. And I ordered a drink. It would be done. Another one would be in front of me. That was the best part of it.
What was the pool bar drink choice? Mojito guy, or you like a Vice,
Yeah.
Miami Vice?
Yeah, Miami Vice. Miami
Yep.
Vice. It was
Is that
frozen.
a frozen drink's crazy. You really a bad bitch.
It was 130 degrees.
Yeah. It was just to cool down.
It was the only way I could survive because they didn't cool the water either. I don't know what their end goal was that, but you step in this water, it's the same temperature as outside.
That's crazy word. But hey, good to have you back. Back on the Sleepers Media channel. Hope besides all that, hope it was a good time. Shout out to our boy X, by the way, for getting married. Didn't think he would ever get to that point because there's some thoughts about X that I'll leave for another day. But shout out to my dog. Happy for him and his wife. And happy that you got to be there for him and all the boys were there too. So cool to see. Shout out to the locker room. What was it? Locker room days? Is that what that's?
Yeah, I think so. I think we all were in one of you and G's rooms, like as one of the first rooms we were all in too.
Yeah, in the I don't know if it's defunct now, but Multiplicity Media, we'll miss you forever. Maybe one day you'll make a comeback, but it was a good week and a half run. Dion, do you have a YouTube comment of the day for us?
I do. I feel bad that we're stealing this from G and Ralph, but I feel like we have to. John SE3SW. In the span of like 5 minutes, Greg called Brian poor and an alcoholic.
I mean, G can do that. G can do that. I honestly, I've been a part of that. Usually he does that to me in like 30 seconds. So I don't need a 5 minute span. It'll take 2 minutes for him to get all his bars off. But hey, that's just part of the G experience. We're team Brian Ralph here. He is not poor and or an alcoholic. Not that I know of. I don't know. Even though in San Antonio, Ralph was putting back the rum and cokes.
Not gonna call him an alcoholic. It's very clear that he drinks though. Like no one's gonna question that.
Yeah, he's built different though. But yeah, that's it's funny because sometimes like people I feel like are in the comments and be like, God, G is like so mean to y'all. And I'm like, nah, not really. And also we give it back to him, and that's his love language is debilitating mean comments towards his friends. That's what he does. That's okay. Um we're gonna go ahead and move to the Discord quickly here. Join the Discord for $9.99 a month. Join on your desktop. If you join the desktop, you avoid the fees. $9.99 a month. The link is in the description of our Twitter. If you join the Discord, I will read your comments every single day. There's some people pushing back. HR got to me, higher ups in the company said they're sick of my shit basically for skipping comments. So I will not be skipping any comments unless, there's a couple Malik comments that I gotta breeze past just because I don't want to be canceled. So, but otherwise, I will get to everybody's comments. And in that honor, we will start today with Sleeve Nash. Sleeve Nash says, Sleeve Scout for Dylan Harper. Today's Sleeve Scout breaks down one of the most unique guards in the class, Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper, NBA comparison ladder. 1,000% best case, James Harden. 100% best case, Cade Cunningham. Likely outcome, Jalen Williams. Floor, Anthony Black.
Ooh. I love sleeve. I don't get this one though. Um, I've seen a lot of the Harden stuff. What's with that? I don't see Harden and Dylan Harper at all.
So I'm the only thing I think it is, I think it's a size, like first of all, the left-handed thing, the size, and just like very crafty, I guess, like very like snake ball screens, very crafty floater game, things like that. Um, and I mean, I guess you got to think back to like Harden really developed into like the whole like step back three ball thing that really didn't come at first. I don't know if Dylan Harper ever gets there. Also, I think that James Harden's a little bit more like I don't think he's more athletic than Dylan Harper, but he's like more quick twitch, I guess, like tight space type things. And like Harden was quick too. Harden was like super, super quick, like underrated quick and like big body. So I guess I can see that. What do you think about the likely outcome?
So I think, I mean, so the Harden stuff, by the way, I don't see it because I don't think Dylan has to have the ball as much. I see way more. I see, and I don't know if like Kasparis gets as far. I see way more Harden than Kasparis. He has to have the ball in his hands. Likely outcome, Jalen Williams is a power forward.
Dylan, is he a power forward?
J-Dub, like we're talking about Oklahoma City J-Dub.
Yeah.
They're like a three.
Yeah, he's more. I just see him having the ball in his hand. Like, I know SGA has the ball in his hand, so Jalen Williams has it less. But I think I just don't buy Dylan Harper's ever being an off-ball guy. I think he needs to have the ball in his hands.
Also, J-Dub plays, and I mean this respectfully to Dylan Harper. J-Dub can play defense if he has to.
Yeah, Harper's underrated. Well, not really underrated. He has quick hands, but Jada's actually like a really good defender, like really good and super long arms too. I feel like he measures a bit better than Dylan Harper, but I like where you want the Anthony Black floor. Actually, not that bad of a call out, I would say.
Anthony Black doesn't play though, right?
No,
Okay, so our floor for Dylan is just on a roster.
I guess floor's got to be like worst case scenario,
Yeah,
but I don't. Yeah, I'll allow a sleeve. I like the sleeve scout comment. I'll let it ride.
I love the Cade one. Love the Cade one. I would move Cade to the 1,000% best case, but I think I'm higher on Cade than most, and I think the 100% best case is Brunson.
See, I had Brunson as the best case scenario. Just think given because Harper's like more 6'3", 6'4", and K's like legit 6'6", 6'7". Um, but yeah, I think Brunson could definitely be in the cards more so. So yeah, not too far off there, Sleeve. Appreciate your comments as always. Mutant Matt, very tempted to make the pilgrimage for Cubs versus Tigers at Comerica in June. Haven't been, hear a lot of great things. Is there anything like Ford Field? If it's anything like Ford Field, then it's a must go. So I'm not as tapped into baseball as I should be, but I have heard from multiple friends that come from out of state that go to Tigers games that they like Comerica Park and the Tigers are good. So, I recommend it. Downtown Detroit's a lot of fun. A lot of good spots you can go to, and a lot of people are pretty high on Comerica Park as a baseball stadium. So, highly recommend it. Make that pilgrimage. Let's see here. Fam 33. I just wanted to give the Discord community a group shout out in here. Real good vibes going on. This past week, life hit Jay Hart in the face, and my guy needed to find a job immediately. I saw over 10 people reach out and support the effort with different notes or suggestions on separate days, and within a week of him asking for support, he's landed a new job. Cool to see. Very cool to see.
What happened with J Hart?
Also, didn't know Jay Hart lost his job. I gotta get in the Discord more.
Yeah, I had no idea either. I did see people were giving him new jobs, so I offered him one with me. I didn't know that was like a serious, like, let's not joke around situation. J Hart, the offer still stands though.
I hope it wasn't a joke around situation because I jokingly, I don't know if this happened in the same like day. I fired Jay Hart as a social media guy. Jokingly, I did. Maybe it wasn't that time for that joke, but that's on me. I apologize, Jay Hart. Shout out to the new gig. Shout out to our guy Jay Hart, by the way, who's doing a real good job with our socials, getting all those NBA clips up and things like that. So shout out to our guy behind the scenes there. War Chant. The Packers are trying to get the tush push banned. Thoughts?
Soft. Soft.
I'm with the Packers. Ban it. I'm sick of it. I hate the tush push. It's stupid. I don't want to see it anymore. War chant once again. If I was a WNBA fan, all the Clark and Reese stuff would drive me crazy. It takes away from the actual basketball. The back and forth by the talking heads and the sports talk and on Twitter is just so bad. Too much for me. Angel Reese kind of reminds me of Dennis Rodman as a basketball player, but a poor man's Dennis Rodman, much lower level, trying to come up with a Clark comparison. Dion, do you have any thoughts on this whole like Clark Reese thing?
Um, it's annoying from both sides, in my opinion. One, if you're on the side of let's stop talking about it, no. Like rivalries are good for sports. If those two like don't like each other, I think that's good for the sport. I think it not only does it drive attention, but it gives people rivalries give people that don't necessarily watch sports a reason to watch. I think that's what made Braun and Steph so fun was how many people were watching those series that probably didn't watch a single other basketball game the whole year. And that's good for the sport. That's good for the league. That's good for the players ultimately. I think it's also annoying on the flip side of it, the people that are like trying to drive the rivalry up to something that like necessarily isn't and making it something that it isn't. And I just think the discourse around it is crazy. Um, but yeah, I mean, don't shy away from the rivalry. I think it's good for the sport.
Yeah, I think rivalries do make sports great. The only thing that I can't and maybe it's fatigue from the college basketball season, but like everything stemming from a foul is just the most annoying thing in the world to me. Not a very hard foul. I mean like a hard foul, but like just crazy that like this it's just it keeps happening for real. Like it's just I don't know if it's because of the fatigue from talking about refereeing during the season and things like that, but I just the referee discourse, everything surrounding foul calls, I cannot get with.
So not a hard foul. I want everyone to go watch that in slow-mo. She fouled her harder than she needed to. Like there, it was like not a hard foul.
She meant to do it because I mean you see like the full clip where Angel Reese kind of pushed her player, so it was like a retaliation into that I think from Caitlin Clark. So I mean that's also hoop like that. How many times does that happen where you're sticking up for your teammate and you foul someone? Like the roles were reversed and Caitlin Clark pushed some girl and got the rebound. I'd expect Angel Reese to foul the shit out of her. Like that's what you're supposed to do for your teammate. It's basketball.
Yes, and like for me, I've always said this with Indiana Fever games. It bothers me. Caitlin Clark's the enforcer. She needs her Draymond Green. Like she should just be able to shoot threes and chill.
Well, it's supposed to be Sophie Cunningham, Maggie Barbie, but she's got some other extracurriculars going on. It seems like she's a little bit preoccupied. Moving on here, War Chant, Final Four left in the in the NBA and NHL. Who do you have cutting down the nets and hoisting the cup? Does that vary from who you want to win?
Who's left in hockey? Yeah, let me Google.
I mean, I saw that game set. See, the first like game seven that I tapped in for, I was so sad on Sunday because there's two game sevens. One, the Thunder won by 80, and then the other one, the Panthers won like 7-1 against the Leafs. I was like, damn, it was supposed to be a great Sunday of game sevens, and we got nothing.
Oh, the Oilers are still playing. I think they got my guy McDavid. So I'm gonna rock
They do have McDavid.
McGretzky, as I call him.
McGrexy McGrexy is crazy. Wait, so we got it's the Panthers versus the Hurricanes, and then Oilers Stars. Stars are fire. I like the Stars. Their uniforms are fire. Not to pull that card, but also I saw Braden Smith went to Texas and was at a Dallas Stars game, and that bitch looked like it was rocking. So
I will say,
I don't want to go against you either, though, Dion.
yeah, I'll rock with the Stars though. Like I'm good with it.
I can rock with. I know Ralph wants the Hurricanes.
Yeah, I might have to. Rouse having like a generational run at the moment.
It's time to hate on him a little bit.
I think it might be time to provide Ralph Will.
Okay. And then the final four left in the NBA. Who you got?
I got the Thunder.
Thunder. I just hope it's something for somebody from the West. I can't see Brunson or Halliburton get a title. I can't. I'm sorry. It can't occur. Let's see. Malik comment that I will be skipping. Next Malik comment. This is for Greg and Carter if he wants to. I don't play, watch, or like golf. When Carter and Dion talk about it, it actually sounds fun. So let them continue to have golf banter. Okay. Did
I
you bring
love
your club?
that.
You bring your club? Oh, actually, no. There's no way you want the golf in Costa Rica with the heat.
No, but I did. So once our power went out Sunday, I
The
started to
power
look
went
up.
out.
Yes,
I mean, the AC wasn't working.
so the AC didn't work from like Thursday to Monday.
Oh no. Oh
Yeah,
no.
it was rough. There was a I won't tell the full story behind this. So there's like a sports bar slash club inside of this place.
Hmm.
And literally they had like to mop sweat off the ground. That way people could like go on the dance floor.
That's
And they
crazy.
were like running mops through there every 20 minutes. That's how hot it was. I sweat through a shirt inside of this sports bar. I didn't move. Like
I know Lurk's hair was sweating all over the place.
I've never seen a human wash his hair more.
Probably
Never
for the,
seen.
probably for the best given that heat, respectfully. Let's see. We have here Malik Perry once again. Let's play a game called Build a Program. It's for college sports. This will be for college basketball. First part, what state or American territory will your school be at? End of flurry.
Uh It's like we can do anything we want with it.
I guess you're starting a program, you're building a program. What state or American territory would your school be at?
The second part's so crazy.
It really is.
Uh, Probably somewhere in Florida or California. Like I feel like those are the two easiest states to kind of recruit in if you really wanted to.
Yeah. I'm not positive that this school is there, but do you know if Pepperdine is in Malibu?
It is. No, it's around there. It's around there.
Around there? Like I feel like I've seen photos of that campus and you're like right on the beach. And like Malibu's like hella nice.
That's like the I want to say it's like the richest school in the country or like one of the richest schools in the country.
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably go Cali as well. I would miss fall, I think, but at the same time, I think I'd be all right with it. I go somewhere in Cali, but somewhere in Cali that doesn't get like super duper hot in the summer, because I don't know if I can rock with that.
California doesn't get any hotter than Michigan.
I think it does, man.
There's probably some areas that do actually, but like most of the areas that get like crazy hot, you people don't like live there too much.
Yeah,
It's agriculture.
yeah, I guess I respect that. Let's see. Fam 33, the king has spoken. He also wanted me to tell you you need to film golf content with bluffs this summer. Um, I don't know if I can take Riley, the golf guy, anymore. He texted me about Scotty Scheffler again. It just doesn't hit right once again.
I want his first Riley Everyday episode to be about golf.
That'd actually be fire to see. Honestly, Riley just go have a round and like you don't give him any tips and he's just like literally out there figuring it out, picking whatever clubs he wants to, and just seeing what happens.
What if we just started doing like all the golf YouTubers do the Breaking 100 series?
Yeah,
Like me, UG, Ralph, and Riley are all doing Breaking 100s on the channel.
we'd be so bad at that because I feel like we'd be preying on the person's downfall.
Oh, if I want to be the only one that breaks 100.
I was about to say, I need to get on that. I don't know if I can break 100. Let's
Nah, G.
see. Fam 33. How do you pronounce Brian's last name? Is it Ralph, Ralph, or Ruff? I think it's Ralph.
It's none of the three he did, right? It's just Ralph.
Well, he put like some accent marks over the Ralph with a double F.
Yeah, it's not that.
Yeah, I think Sleeve calls him Brian Ralph, but this is Brian Ralph. Like, Ralph. Okay, that's crazy. All hail the Pope. KSR posted yesterday that Kentucky has a deep national championship backcourt. Who do you all think has a national championship backcourt and front court? Okay,
Mm.
so respectfully to Kentucky's team, I need to see who makes up that backcourt. I don't know if necessarily I'm thinking like Jelon Lowe and that group is like, oh, championship level backcourt. Like if Otega Owe is a part of that, which I don't really consider him, I consider him a wing. That that's an interesting, I guess, proposition there. I think Purdue has a championship backcourt and front court. I personally think Houston does. I'm trying to think of some other teams that I don't want to leave out here. Uh, who would you put?
Honestly, for me, I think it's just Purdue.
Just Purdue?
I would, the only team I think has an argument would be UConn, but I think it's just Purdue.
Yeah, I think there's certain back courts or front courts you could stretch for, but the one thing you can say is that Purdue has a backcourt and a front court that has played in a national championship. So, at least you can have that to fall back on. Um, all hail the Pope. Doctor got into it with me because they got Wilkerson, but we got a better roster than Indiana, and saw he was bragging about Indiana five-time championships. So I just had to add the eight-time champs to the name. Came back to the Discord so I can talk some more when Indiana isn't even a top four Big Ten team. Doctor just seems to, just kind of get the best, get at people in the Discord. What we got to say about that?
I think Indiana fans are doing a lot of what they did last summer.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds about right. But the reason is different than Woody. I will say that you don't have Woodson anymore, so you got to hold that up there. War chant. Who do you think is drafted first, Casparis or Will Riley? If I'm an NBA GM, I would choose Riley. I love Will Riley. We're Will Riley guys. I don't think there is any chance that he goes before Casparis.
Sparris is a 6'7" point guard. Like
Yeah.
we have to be realistic here.
Yeah. It is what it is. Let's see. Clear-headed Illini fan. Ryan Clark is a race baiting clown, in my opinion. Thoughts? Um,
I'd like to stay away from this one
yeah,
personally.
I'm gonna stay away from this one as well. The one thing I will say though is it's like you never want either side to get personal in these type of things, and I feel like that's all I got to say about it. Otherwise, keep it the way it is. The funny thing I'll say about this though is that I saw LaShawn McCoy quote tweeted and said, "Corny people calling corny people," and someone retweeted LaShawn McCoy's tweet and said, "Boy, oh boy, do I have some news for you, LaShawn." I
I
just
will. I'll say is I didn't see the original RG3 clip. I'm not a huge fan of what RG3 does.
I'm also not reading all that. Like both of them. Both of them just dropped absolute novels.
I don't listen to either.
And then
I don't.
Emmanuel Acho chimes in. I'm just like, okay, here we go. And then flip over to that, and it's more like this all stemmed from a foul, by the way, in a basketball game.
It stemmed from a foul that was, like I said, it wasn't where it's being made stuff it isn't, and those two are part of making it stuff that it isn't.
Yeah, let's not no more comments on that to be honest with you. But yeah, don't call people names, clear-headed Illini fan. Let's be a little nicer in this situation. Though we're all professionals here. Okay. Shout out to the Discord. Thanks to everybody for the comments. Like I said, join the Discord, $9.99 a month on your desktop. Links in the description of our Twitter page. It's a great way to support us, great community. As you see, we have a lot of great people in there. Season's getting closer and closer. I highly recommend everybody getting in there. We are brought to you by just hard work and dedication at this point, just hard work and dedication and doing it for y'all. So let's go ahead and not waste any more time. Let's get to the show today. Topic number one today. Yesterday, we went through a Myron Metcalf article from ESPN. Shout out to Myron, by the way, where he basically gave every team in the Big Ten grades for past season. So what, results of past season. And he had a thought process based on it as far as like expectations and things like that. Some we agreed with, some we didn't agree with. But what I want to do is I want to go through some of the biggest teams that we kind of cover, some of the bigger teams in the country outside the Big Ten, and I want to give them a letter grade, so A, B, C, D, whatever you need to do for that, based on their last season. So I want to start with, let's start with some people that I think will probably get A's. Let's start with Houston Cougars.
Yeah, B. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, that's
I'm just
crazy.
kidding.
Made the title game getting a B.
No, okay. That's an A. That's an A.
That's
That's
an
an
A. I thought Sanson was special last season. They obviously, they win the Big 12, win the Big 12 tournament, make the title game. Unfortunately, fall in that game, but a hell of a run by them. It was right there. They knock off Duke in the process of that as well. So I think a really, really good. really good overall year for them. We'll go through 10 teams in this exercise, so that'll be the first one. And let me go ahead and write this down because you know what? I think this could be possibly graphic worthy. So we are going to give Houston an A for last season. I'm gonna round it up to an A plus because I love Houston, damn it. Next team. Let's go one of the new hires from last season. What do you think about first year for Pat Kelsey in Louisville last season?
Ooh, okay. So when we're doing these grades, are we including like recruiting class? I know we can't
No,
necessarily.
no. So this is just like no off-season stuff in this one. This is basically just last year's Louisville team, like the just the season, regular season, and I just the season as a whole.
What about like if you got like a big recruit during the season?
I'll leave that up to you.
Okay, I'm gonna say B plus because he got Michael Brown. Like
Mm.
I think the season in general was like a B minus, but I think if you're Pat Kelsey year one, you're laying a foundation for the years to come, and he was able to get the ultimate like foundation maker by getting a McDonald's All American.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a B. I don't want to go either side on this one. If they would have won a tournament game, I think I would have bumped it maybe to a B plus, maybe even an A minus. But look, Louisville's a team that won like seven total combined games the three previous years before Pat Kelsey got there. They win a bunch of games. They are tops in the ACC. They're building something for this year, like you said. They lose one of their better players in Kayshawn Pryor last year, Kaysen Pryor, sorry, working on my pronunciation this year, people. I got you. I see the comments. And they're able to still have a really good year. They just didn't go out the way that I think they wanted to. But I think overall you feel good about what they did in, last year in the first year of Pat Kelsey. Let's go to UConn next.
UConn. Ooh. Um, this grade is gonna be higher than it should because I already created the precedent of recruits. Um,
Take
I
out
gotta give
take
it
take take out recruits moving forward.
okay. This is like a C minus.
I would say a C minus. I think that UConn fans would agree with that. I just think that it was a down year, and I think they're going to be really good this season. But like the Maui thing, everything surrounding it, it just didn't necessarily, I think, fall their way. And maybe they'll regroup. I think they will regroup this season, but a very bad year, I think, by UConn standards. That might even be in the D plus category. I mean, just because they're on such a high standard and they were,
Yeah.
set to compete. But there were a lot of people that were a little bit more down on that UConn team than I think, maybe some other people were. So maybe it wasn't even that much of a kind of a letdown. But moving on, let's go Kentucky next.
Um, so this is weird. Based upon Kentucky standards, I would give it like a B. But because it was year one, Mark Pope, he put together a roster in like 2 weeks. I believe he created a culture. I think this is like an A plus plus. I don't think there's like a higher grade, whatever 4.0 on the GPA scale is.
Whatever, 4.0.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't have to worry about getting one of those, so I don't know what the highest grade is you can get, but
A
like
plus.
A plus, you can't do anything higher than an A plus.
I don't think so.
So those kids that were running around my high school talking about I got a 4.5, the liars.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe
Okay,
possibly. I don't know.
good
Uh
for them. Good for
not
them.
not a school guy. But I would give Kentucky. I mean, they did throw together a roster. They won a lot of big games, and also they shook their tournament demons. Like everyone was mad about them going out in the first round. But they also you know they weren't they tailed off a little bit, and then they at the end of the day they didn't end up being in like the SEC, winning banners in that regard. But they did win a tournament game. I'm gonna
They won
go
two.
A minus for the
They
first
won
year.
two tourney games.
You said what?
They won two tourney games.
Yeah, I'm saying they won some tourney games.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go A minus for that one. That might be even a little harsh, honestly. Could probably get into an A, but we'll leave it at an A minus. Moving on here, let's go with BYU.
Mm. I'm gonna say like a B plus. I don't think it was anything too crazy, but I don't think they like let anybody down either.
Yeah, I mean they got hot towards they had some trials and tribulations. They got hot towards the second half of the season. They make a run in the tournament. A lot of fun building towards this year. But the first part of the year was a little bit iffy. Wasn't the first year of Coach Young. I thought he established something. So I feel good about a B plus. Not yet an A, but like obviously building towards something, working to this next year. Let's go Michigan.
Um,
Actually, sorry, my apologies. No Big Ten teams. We already did that. That's on me.
it's fine.
Let's go with another new coach from like let's go with Arkansas.
Uh, I give him like a B. He did make the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with ugh, the regular season just wasn't that great. Honestly, I'm gonna go with C. I'm gonna go with C. It just wasn't that great. They did beat St. John's, which is like good on them, but like overall, just like just wasn't necessarily the greatest. Um, let's see here. We got one, two, three, four, five, six, four more. Let's go with Duke.
A minus. It should be an A plus, but it's a A minus. That and I barely saw it because of where I was sitting, but the end of that Houston Duke game, rough, like rough.
Yeah, I think you got to go A minus given how it ended. It had all the makings of an A plus season, but it didn't end up working out like that. What about Auburn?
I'm gonna say the same, like A minus. Like I think any Final Four team besides Houston, well, I guess just Duke and Auburn, it's hard to get them higher than A minus because I feel like all four teams showed up with the intention to win a national title, and I don't necessarily feel like Duke and Auburn played up to expectation.
I'm gonna bump it to a regular A because they won the SEC regular season, and that was like the best conference in the sport. So I go ahead and give them a slight bump for that. So we got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Two more teams. Let's go St. John's next.
Ooh. I'm gonna say A plus. I think they exceeded expectations by like a million.
I think so too. I think they did what they had to do. Obviously, didn't end the way they wanted to in the tournament, but overall, I think just a pretty special year from them. And obviously, Patino's doing a lot this year, so we'll see how that ends up. Would you want to end with last team here? We have the options are Kansas, North Carolina, and Alabama.
Um, Kansas and North Carolina didn't do enough for me. Bama.
Let's go with Bama at the last one. What would you give Bama as a grade?
Give him a C plus. That was a car crash that I was telling everybody about the whole year, waiting to happen. And I think because they lost to Duke, everyone's just ignoring all the issues that this roster had the whole year because, like, oh, we lost to Duke. Everybody lost to Duke. No, you lost to Duke the same way you were losing games in December. The team can't shoot, and you built a whole roster around shooting a million threes. It was a car crash waiting to happen.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things we saw come happen. Mark Sears was up and down during the year. Mark Sears was benched during. There was a lot going on for Bama last season. I'm kind of sad we didn't do North Carolina and Kansas because I think both those teams would have got like D's or F's, just so everyone knows out there if you're listening, Riley and Kansas crew. But yeah, I think I feel pretty good about those grades. That was a fun segment. Last question for you, Dion, just 'cause I got you here. What would you give Michigan State's grade for last season?
Oh, it's train wreck. That's the saying, right? Not car crash. Or is it
I
either
mean,
or?
both are wrecks, but it is train wreck.
Well, train wreck waiting to happen was the Bama thing then. Michigan State, y'all won the Big Ten tournament.
Regular season,
Oh, regular season, my bad. Um,
maybe the Elite Eight.
Made the Elite Eight. A minus, B
Yeah, I
plus.
just wanted to hear you say Michigan State got an A. Thank you. That was a fun segment. Topic number two. We are doing a college basketball lie detector test. I think not Greg, myself, Dion, you know that a lot of coaches, a lot of players, shit, even you and I sometimes on this podcast when we don't even try to. I call it embellish. You know, lie is such a nasty word. I don't ever want to intentionally lie. Sometimes, just slips up a little lie happens here and there, a little silly little lie. But what I want to do is I have five things here, and I basically want to determine if these things are a lie or a fact by who is saying them. Sound good?
Yeah. Also, as someone that stretches the truth, this is going to be very easy.
How many phrases do you think we could come up with that define a word other than lie? We have embellish, we have stretch the truth. Anything else?
Exaggerate.
Ah, exactly. A big time exaggerator.
A massive exaggerator.
Massive exaggerator. There was a small contingent, and when I say small, it was like three people who referred to me as big exaggeration in college for like 2 weeks. It really died out quick once they figured out that big exaggeration was a very, very long name that they couldn't get with. But we'll move on here. The first one, Mark Pope says if Otega Owe returns, he is SEC Player of the Year. Is this a truth or a lie?
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy. I think that's true.
Okay, so you got to go through some of the SEC teams here because I do think this is true. I think that he would be the preseason favorite. I think he'd be a preseason favorite for first team All American. I think that Kentucky has a chance to be one of the better teams in the SEC. Best player on the best team in the SEC, like that leads the SEC Player of the Year. Um, I guess I'm trying to think if there would be even a challenger. Obviously, there's some good players in the SEC, so there'd be some challengers. But I think Mark Pope is telling the truth. Do you think Mark Pope can lie?
Oh yeah, he does it all the time.
See, I thought he was incapable of lying.
No, what did he say? What did he say? He said something last offseason where I was like, yeah, it's just a lie. Well, he also like let's just be very clear. Like he lied to a Caden Lewis for 6 months.
He embellished.
Excuse me, he exaggerated a Caden Lewis's role on the roster to a Caden Lewis for about 6 months.
Yeah,
It was the play the whole time. He's built the best possible roster he can, but I do think Mark Pope is the type of guy who will stretch the truth for his guys, and I think that's why people love him.
yeah, I think it's fair to say too. All right, so we have one truth so far. Off to a good start, coaches, by telling the truth. Two, Painter says every Purdue player could have gotten more elsewhere.
Um, I mean, maybe. I don't know if I would admit that if I was Paint.
So I'm not trying to say that Paint is for sure lying, but I guess I'm playing like a semantics game here. I don't think every Purdue player could have gotten more elsewhere. Like I think that Braden would have gotten more elsewhere. I think that even TKR could have broke the bank, got somewhere more elsewhere. The Fletcher thing, I think, is goes back and forth on how much people would actually pay him, given what school he's at. But overall, he is telling the truth for the most part. So I'm gonna go ahead and lean and say truth. I'm not gonna go too critical of it.
I mean this respectfully, and I have a Purdue future, so I do have to draw my line in the sand this year a little bit, and I got to be on one side. I watched Lamar Wilkerson get three M's. Brett Fletch would have got a lot.
Lamar Wilkerson is better than Fletch.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes, he is.
no. Fletcher Lawyer had a month where he didn't make a three and was shooting 40% from three still that year.
I always get put in this position. Um, they would be better if they had Lamar Wilkerson over Fletch. I'll tell you that right now.
No,
Yes,
no. Fletch,
100.
like all three of them break the bank if they go anywhere else, but like I don't know if they do because like don't you can get like a bunch of money just like being around like with like local bars and stuff, right?
Yeah, 100. Yeah, I mean like local West Lafayette Subaru dealers and things like that. They could definitely get some money.
I was gonna say like Purdue loves Purdue so much that I don't even know if they get more money going elsewhere just from like all the other stuff. Maybe more money up front, but I'm sure if
Yeah.
Braden asked like a local politician for $10 million, he would get it.
That'd be great. Just pulls to the governor like I need an M. Honestly, that's probably the play with Braden though. Like long term, he's like never gonna. He'll be good for life at Purdue, and maybe it costs him, let's say, like a mil or something in NIL, but like he'll recoup that with much more and be looked at a certain way. All right, so we're gonna go truth on that.
Yeah.
All right, three. Drake Powell. I didn't get a chance to show what I can do at UNC.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is I don't even know the other ones on the list, and I know this is the most true statement. I also do want to preface North Carolina fans, I got a bad rap with y'all. It's not y'all fault. There isn't a school Drake Powell could have went to where he got to show what everything he can do. It's because he has an NBA game. I think Andrew Wiggins at Kansas when I see Drake Powell, and maybe that's not the best comparison for Drake from an NBA terms, but his game is too up and down. It's too tempo based. He needs more space than he's going to get in college basketball to show what he can do.
So I'm gonna say that this is a lie. I'm gonna say this is a lie for this reason. Drake Powell tries to come across as this guy who did not play. And yes, I know his role wasn't what he wanted. And yes, I know that that is part of it. But The notion that he didn't get a chance. When I think a chance, I say minutes. He played 26 minutes a game. Like, and he comes across like he played 10. Now, the role part of it, yes, you can make an argument on that. And I'm always the first to say that I'm siding with somebody else over Hubert Davis. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that this one is a lie. Say this one is a lie. You had a chance to do. You just, for one reason or another, you could not show it. Let's see, two more here. Ace Bailey says, "I have no weaknesses and I have more than two strengths."
Yeah, that's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a
That's a
lie.
lie. You do have weaknesses. That's a that might be the biggest lie on here. Everyone has weaknesses.
I'm not sure he has two strengths.
I mean, athleticism and shooting.
Is he that athletic?
Yeah, he is crazy athletic.
I want at the NBA level, he's crazy athletic.
Yeah, sure.
Like, what's his NBA athleticism comp?
That's a tough one to answer.
I think there's never been an individual more Jabari Smith Jr. in his game than Ace Bailey.
See, but would you consider Jabari and like he's a better athlete than Jabari?
I think Jabari's athletic. I think he's just like I think in college Jabari's a freak. I think in the NBA he's just another dude. And I feel the same way about Ace. Like the biggest difference between the two is coming out of college, I said Jabari can't make tough shots. I don't feel that way about Ace. But I also said Jabari doesn't shoot the tough shots, which is good.
Also free Jabari while we're at it. Yeah, that's a lie by Ace Bailey. All right, last one here. Bruce Pearl. If Tahad is a first rounder, we want him to go.
Yeah, that's true.
Lies. We want him back. I respected Bruce. If he was a lottery pick, yeah, go. If he's a high first, I don't know, man. Like, dog, you got something there with that team. You got to feel good about that.
But from a Bruce Pearl perspective, if he got a 6 foot point guard to the league as a one and done, that's very good for him on the recruiting trail.
You think?
So I think it's true.
Yeah,
I think
true. Yeah, I guess so. Like in the long term, it's probably for the best. Um, I don't know, but my Eagles, my War Eagles, would be better if they had actually my War Eagles, my Tigers. My apologies. Why do they say War Eagle?
it makes no sense. Makes no
So
sense.
they're the Auburn Tigers, but the chant is War Eagle.
It also like I kind of always assumed it had something to do with elephants, but I don't think elephants and eagles like fight
No,
at all.
Elephants is for Auburn. Or no, Elephants is Alabama. That's Roll
Yeah,
Tide.
that's why I thought like it was something in on play with like the roll tide thing because it's
Oh.
like we stomp y'all out even with our mascots.
Got you. Honestly, Greg, great topic here. Thank you for this. I want to do more lie detector tests. Let's go ahead and make that up. And also, I never want to be hooked up to one. Let's move on. Topic number three, of course, that we have Dion here, our resident NBA analyst, whether he wants to be known as one or not. I just want to do a quick NBA playoffs check-in. We are in the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals. I just want your thoughts, maybe your picks on who wins the series, and I guess maybe an overall temperature check on where you're at with the NBA and the state of the game.
Um, I've said this for a while. It's really unwatchable at the moment for me. I think they did way too big of a pendulum swing. That's the right word, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Pendulum.
Yeah.
On the foul stuff, I think the game it's nasty to watch the way they're playing. Like what Caruso's getting credit for like guarding Jokic. If Draymond did half the stuff Caruso did to Jokic, he would like face a felony charges. He would be in a court of law. Like no one guards anymore. They just hack. I watched Josh Hart not even try to make an attempt on the ball and just slap somebody's wrist. No call. It's I mean the Pistons Knicks series was just a series of UFC brawls that like went unrefereed essentially. And so for that for me is really unwatchable. I enjoyed the era of like I'm not gonna say like grifting where like people were getting a bunch of foul calls, but like I'm just being honest, if you can't stay in front of somebody, that is a foul. Like I hate to tell defenders that, but like move your feet. That's all I want like you to do. I don't want you to hack them. That's not real defense to me either. They've done like too big of a pendulum swing, and I think it's taken away from some of the skill of the players and like showcasing what they actually can do, and it's actually put it more like the watchability for me is I'm just watching the refs like waiting for them to do something.
Yeah, so where do you stand with like the players that are, I guess, the players in the teams that are in it? Because I see a lot of people talking about like, oh, I'm watching a conference finals with Jalen Brunson, Halliburton, but it's also kind of like this is the new age of, I guess, stars that are kind of coming up. Like you have Shea and Tyrese and Jalen Brunson, all young like guys who, I mean, obviously Ant's been to I think the Western Conference Finals. So has Shea been there yet, or is this the first time for Shea?
First time, because the Clippers never did it.
I don't think the Clippers ever did. No, so like this is a chance for one of these guys. One of these guys is going to get their first ring, right? And rings mean more than maybe even I think they should in NBA culture. So like, where do you stand with the teams that are in it? Because obviously you have this young star power, but also at the same time talk to yourself and say, I'm watching a Western Conference Finals with the Timberwolves and the Thunder, Thunder best team, but then on the East you have the Pacers. And then you have Jalen Brunson, so no Tatum, Giannis, that type of situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think first off, in terms of the teams, I see everybody complaining about like the markets of the teams. There's no bigger market than the Knicks. So like what are we talking about? Like we can't complain about the markets when we have the biggest market in sports still in it. The mecca of basketball is still a part of this. And then when you look at the individual players, um, yeah, maybe individually the East series is a little boring. You'd probably prefer like the Tatums and the Giannis's, maybe Embiid, depending on where you fall on him. Definitely Maxey, but I think when you watch, we're talking about Knicks Pacers. That's one of the all-time best rivalries, maybe in sports. You know what I mean? Like I think it's something that like it doesn't bother me. It's getting back to like the 90s, I guess you could say that those Pat Ewing, Reggie Miller series, we still like they chant fuck you, Reggie, when he's on the call in
Mm.
MSG. Like that's how important those series were back then. So like I don't know how you can complain about that. And then you flip it to the other side, those are the two players that are next up, in my opinion. Like the group of next up players in the league, and SGA, Cade, um, I guess you could say Luca still somehow because he's under 25. You know
That's
what I mean?
crazy.
Crazy. Like Jonathan Kuminga, so on and so forth. I'm just kidding. But so on and so
Minka sounds
forth.
insane.
So on and so forth. Like that's the series that you would want. If you're not getting Steph versus Braun, I think you always wanted SGA Ant because it's like the two players that we're going to be watching for years to come. I think you're going to see, assuming Ant stays in Minnesota and SGA stays in Oklahoma City, I think those two teams are going to play each other a lot the next 10 years.
Yeah, it's honestly like I think it's a little bit overblown, and people like wanting to see the Giannis's and everyone. Like I get it, but like there is some fun to it. That it's like it's Brunson and Halliburton, and on the other side SGA and Ant, who are like two different level superstars. And one of those guys is going to get their first ring, which is I think is exciting.
If it's Ant, dog, that summer run is going to be generational.
I don't know if I'm prepared for it to be Ant, with all due respect.
I'm certainly not. The videos of him leaving Staples after game 5, the videos of him practicing the night, a game early, by the way, a game early. Like this man is probably the most entertaining basketball player in the world, and we're complaining about the fact we get to watch him again. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, Adam Silver's gonna have to do some overtime work this summer if Ant wins the championship because they give that man the mic at the parade. Mm-mm.
He might honestly. There's a world they win a championship and Ant suspended for the first 25 games of next year.
Yeah, if y'all thought what Ja was doing, wait till you get that man in a parade with a mic in front of him with that stuff in him. But hey, like I think my overall like thoughts on it are I'm excited to watch the conference finals. I think they're going to be really good. I think they're going to be competitive, and you got young stars all over the place. So just enjoy it. Stop nitpicking. Just enjoy it. It'll be fun. NBA playoffs are fun. Like this is where it gets fun too. Like I feel like we're not going to get as hopefully we don't get as many blowouts as we have early on, and I'm intrigued to see who's going to end up winning the NBA title.
What do you like?
I I think I'm going with somebody from the West, which has me thinking like this ends with like a Pacers championship, and I'm just there, just like oh, Tyrese Halliburton's an NBA champion, and then I gotta live with that. But I'm gonna go with OKC.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's where I agree with everybody is when you remove everything else. I think Oklahoma City's like the a matchup nightmare for everybody that's left.
Yeah, I agree. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm excited for the rest of the NBA playoffs. One big thing presented by YouTube Compliancy, which by the way, it is currently Tuesday, May 20th. Our strike is officially off the channel. The
Free
strike,
sleepers?
yeah, yeah, we had the strike. The strike stayed on for 90 days. I think it was 90 days or something like that, but we are officially off of the strike. Hopefully we don't have to do that again. We are going to be compliant at all times. We did not like that, but Dion, I'll go to you first for your one big thing.
Growth. That's my new one big thing for the rest of the year. Take who you were yesterday, be a better person the next day.
I like that one a lot there. I like that one a lot. My one big thing today, I'm gonna go food related. I'm gonna do a shout out here. Um, the brand Lesser Evil. I see y'all. Y'all are up to some greatness. Lesser Evil popcorn, I think, is the greatest snack that is currently out. More specifically, the Lesser Evil Himalayan Gold popcorn. It tastes like movie theater popcorn, but like it's just like not with like it tastes like it has like butter all over it, right? But it really doesn't. You can have like 4 cups of it for like 100 calories. Crazy. But it is currently the most fire snack that is in my rotation. I have 5 bags that are in my pantry right now, and I will always have 5 bags of it. It is the most elite snack out. They have other good flavors, I must say, cheese popcorn, regular. They have a kettle corn, I think, too. But the Himalayan Gold, if y'all have not had that, go get yourself a bag. It is elite.
4 cups is 100 calories, but like how many cups till you actually feel full though?
Honestly, 4 cups is a lot. Like you don't think it is, but like I put 4 cups in a bowl. I'm like, oh, that's a good amount of popcorn. Like I'll be good with that. Usually when you measure stuff out, you get a little bit humble. You're like, damn, I was really going through it.
That's that's what I'm saying. Whenever someone's like, this goldfish bag is 80 calories, I'm like, yep, that's because there's seven in here.
Yeah, and I need 4 bags.
Yeah. Next thing you know, I might as well just got the regular bag.
No, but shout out to Lesser Evil Himalayan Gold. Shout out to you, Dion. Good to have you back. Um, and hey, back on the channel. The folks need you. Dracy, you're a bitch, by the way. I gotta sneak that in at the end. We're out of here. We'll catch y'all tomorrow.